Super grateful to be here today. My name's Coach Dorron. Being a coach is an awesome opportunity to help kids, and not only do that, but to work with parents and to work with other coaches to make your programming elite. Today we're going to break it down into 4 quarters, all right? I played college football, so I'm a big football fan. So we're going to go into introduction and purpose, vision and goals, goal setting and visualization in the second quarter. In the third quarter, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, communication, and leadership. And then in the last quarter, we're going to talk about grit and determination and how I use a performance journal to help athletes get to the next level in their sport. So a little introduction about me. My family's originally from South Africa. My father was actually a professional soccer player in South Africa. So incredible to have the ability to be raised by an athlete and come from another country and end up all the way here in Tucson, which is incredible. So I grew up in South Florida for 30 years. I played college football for Florida Atlantic University, and I also grew up a youth swimmer. I got into sports psychology because I was that athlete that quit when I was about 12 years old. I was an elite swimmer. And I quit because my parents were too hard on me. And they did their best to make sure that I was playing and doing everything I can to be the best athlete possible. But they didn't know how to coach me mentally. From there, I went on. I played a sport that I had no idea how to play, which is football. Now my dad loves football. He's a big Miami Dolphins fan. But now I have the ability to help other athletes with their mindset. So I went to school for it. I got a master's degree in it. I got about 10 different certifications. And in addition to that, I recently became a ESA approved vendor. All right, so these are a couple athletes that I've worked with. I've also worked with athletes here and helped them win state titles. So this is an adult athlete, Elizabeth. I helped her with her mindset. She was actually a rodeo athlete, and she was struggling with, if she didn't win, it was like the end of her life, right? So I actually helped her become more balanced in each and every aspect of her life, not just focusing on winning or losing, which we'll talk about today. Then Jono is an athlete who was a rugby player at college for U of A, and he was on the 3rd team, and he was struggling with communicating with his coach and getting himself to first team. So I helped him improve the communication level with his coach, with himself, believing in himself, and got him to the next level, and now he's a starter for U of A rugby team. So phenomenal, and so proud of these athletes for what they've done and other athletes that I've helped over the years. So it's a fantastic opportunity when you get to sit somebody down and help them with their mindset. So here's a question. I want to make this a little interactive for you guys. I want you guys to take some notes, answer some questions. What is the number one cause of the results that we get in life? Anybody know? Coaches? Anybody? Any answers?
What you put into what you're doing.
Thank you. What you put into it, that's great. Anybody else? Determination. Love that answer. All right, all those answers are fantastic, but the number one cause of the results that we get in life is attitude. Attitude is everything. And I just want to share a little story with you guys. At the time, I was a personal trainer. I was working at a gym, and there was these 2 trainers that kind of didn't like a liking to me because I was positive, I was upbeat, I had good energy. But on top of that, I brought in new ideas and new skills to the gym, and they felt intimidated by me. So as a result, what they did is they had a poor attitude. Instead of accepting me and saying, hey, Dorron, what are you doing? What can we do with our clients to make them better and to enhance their life? Instead of doing that, they stopped talking to me. So I'd come in every day and I'd be like, hey, Joe, how's it going? Good morning. Walk right by me, wouldn't talk to me. And I did that day after day after day. And then there was a gentleman in there. I had no idea who he was, but I was super nice to him, super friendly, always wanted to help, always wanted to go above and beyond for him, didn't ask him for money, didn't ask him to become a client of mine. And then one day he goes in the middle of the room and he goes, all right, everybody stop. I want the trainers, Dorron, and the fitness director all come with me. We're having an emergency meeting. That gentleman was the president of the entire country club. Had no idea. So we go in the meeting. The meeting was literally 30 seconds. And he goes, all right, here we go. Everyone here is fired except for Dorron. Crazy, right? And it's all because of attitude. So I'm here today, I'm telling you guys that attitude is everything, but I want to define it, right? So attitude is a composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of both. And it's super important, like the story I just shared, is to have a growth mindset. And a lot of you guys know this. You know it's important for athletes to have a growth mindset, to be positive, to be helpful, to build good energy around the team. And when you have a fixed mindset, that doesn't help. So it's important to have positive influence around you, like a coach like me that dedicates just to mindset training, or coaches like yourself who go above and beyond not just what you do to teach the skills in the sport, but to help them with relationships and building relationships, which is huge. So we all have to take personal responsibility to becoming the best versions of ourselves and to help athletes become the best version of themselves, especially at this age. It's crucial. So for me, I look at not just one area of performance. I look at 3 pillars of performance. You have your physical training, that's your skills, that's also your sport, it's in the weight room. You have nutrition, which Elma just spoke about earlier, important of eating whole foods, not putting kids on diets or anything crazy. And then I wanted to also tell you guys of a website that'll be really good for you. It's called NSF, so Nancy Sam Frank Sport.com. So you could go on that website and you can look for supplements that are informed choice or certified for sport for athletes to take. Super important. The supplement world is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So we want to make sure that athletes, if they do choose to take supplements, that they're taking supplements that are informed choice or certified for sport that'll get them ready for the next level to wherever they go. And then we have mindset training. How many coaches in here do mindset training with their athletes now? By a show of hands. Right? And mindset training, here's the thing. Mindset training is looked at still to this day, and I get it from parents too, as what's wrong with me. I don't want to do it. They think it's psychology. They think it's therapy. It's not therapy. Research shows that when you do mindset training, it's just as important as physical training. Mindset training is also crucial if you have an injury, if you're benched, if you're not on the team, if you quit. It doesn't mean that it's over for you. You still have an opportunity to get your mind stronger and get yourself back out there and be better than ever before. And the cool thing about mindset training is when you do it, now you have the ability to teach others on the team and elevate your team and implement leadership skills that is going to help the whole team elevate their game. So how do we train the mind? So one of the things I do outside of coaching is I'm a graphic designer. So I designed this image here. Please don't judge me on this diagram here. It's just for educational purposes. So back in the 1940s, there was a guy by the name of Dr. Thurman Fleet, and he designed this diagram to show us that the mind is so much more powerful than the body, right? Who would agree? Awesome, great. So here's how it works. We have these little senses coming out of our head. Those are all your physical senses, whatever you could see, smell, taste, touch, hear, right? And then you have your conscious mind, which is your thinking mind, your subconscious mind, which are where all your habits lie, and then those get generated down to your body, and those produce the results that you're getting in your life. So if you're not happy with the results that you're getting, what do we have to change? The way we think, right? What are you thinking? How many muscles, guys, do we have in the physical body? Anybody know? You don't have to know the exact number. Just a guesstimate. Anybody? All right, we have over 600 muscles in the human body. Crazy? Most in our hands and our feet. How many muscles do we have in our mind? There's a lot of different nerve endings. I mean, billions, right? But today I'm going to talk about 6 mind muscles. We have perception, will, imagination, intuition, memory, and reason. Perception, right? Wayne Dyer says it best. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So when you look at yourself and do a self-assessment, now you have the ability to see everything in your life, not just one thing. So super important to look at perception and to train that mind muscle. Will. Vince Lombardi said, the difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but the lack of a disciplined will. Discipline is key. And when you want to be the best, if you have the best discipline, that will help you become the best version of yourself. For me, in high school, I was all county. I got a scholarship for having the best skills on and off the field and the best behavior. And that's all because I was disciplined. I wasn't the best, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, but I was disciplined and I took pride in that. And then we have imagination. Muhammad Ali says, a man without imagination has no wings. Imagination's crazy now. Look at AI, right? I was just speaking with the golf coach. He was like, I don't give homework anymore because kids go home and they use AI. I mean, the world is changing so fast. You can literally use AI to make this whole presentation if I wanted to, which I didn't, so don't worry, okay? But it's unbelievable. It's a great tool, right? It's not everything. Then we have intuition. That's the gut feeling that you get. So when you get that gut feeling, the question you should ask yourself is this action or this behavior that I'm doing, is it pushing me towards my purpose in my life? And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Then we have memory. We are really good as athletes and people and beating ourselves up mentally. Am I correct? And going more towards the negative side. That's why research shows, and it's not just fluff, that positive thinking will actually decrease certain hormones in your body and elevate your mindset. And then we have reason. My wife and I, we don't have kids, but we have a lot of animals, all right? When I walk out of the house, right, and then if I walk 15 minutes back into the house, my wife doesn't give me the same reaction my dogs give me, okay? My dogs are super excited to see me 15 minutes later. They're jumping on me, licking me. My wife is just like, you know? So reason, animals don't have the ability to use this muscle. We can reason everything, okay? We know exactly where we are. We know the time of day, everything. So it's important to reason correctly. I'm going to talk about my performance journal later so you guys could see how you can use that to your advantage. All right, I want you guys to do a little assessment here, okay? You're going to rate yourself 1 through 5. I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. So question number 1, rate your ability to handle anxiety and stress. Pretend like you're an athlete right now. Some of you still playing sports, which is great. So you can use this. 1 is like really low, 5 is awesome. Like you're really good. So 1 is low, 5 is awesome. If you want to give yourself a 0, I didn't put it on there, you can too, but up to you. Then we have rate your sleep habits, right? Sleep, recovery, super important thing of being an athlete. Rate your overall energy. Rate your nutrition from 1 to 5, right? As one of my mentors told me, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Rate your mental training habits from 1 to 5. What do you do to train your mindset on a regular basis? Rate your goal-setting habits. How many people write their goals down on a regular basis? Awesome. Rate your overall attitude. I shared that story of attitude with you guys earlier. Rate your recovery habits. Rate your overall confidence level. And rate your overall satisfaction with your performance as it is today. I'll give you guys about another minute to finish that. So this is exactly what I do with my athletes. It's the first thing I give them. A simple, easy to understand, easy to comprehend assessment so they could see where they're at. All right? Now, draw this little diagram for yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're going to draw the graph so it connects everything, and then you'll have your nutrition, your energy, your goals, your confidence. See how you do. It's a little fun activity here. I'm just going to walk around and see how you guys are doing. Yep, and just connect the dots. Little art project here. And as I tell my athletes, nobody's judging you. So we're just here to kind of make it to where you could read it and you could see it. Very nice. Very creative. Doesn't have to be perfect. But what this diagram here shows you is how your wheel's going down the road. So it's a pretty neat way to do it. And you could see this wheel's not too bad. So they're moving pretty good. But I've seen wheels that are very jaggedy. So it allows athletes to see, oh, wow, this is where I am today. And no wonder why I'm not getting good sleep. Maybe some athletes are overtraining. Maybe some athletes aren't doing all the things necessary that they need to do to support their goals, to support their ambitions.
If I go over this with, my team, are we looking for something? Like, is it if it's lopsided or?
Yeah, it's just a self-awareness. Like if the wheel's not formed correctly, if you're like a 1 over here or 2 and it's very jaggedy, that's how your wheel's moving down the road. So you're having the old school way of mental toughness is push through. Just keep going, push through. You got it. Like, don't worry about these other things. Just, when I played football, I got concussions. The coaches were like, just get back in there, right? This is looking at each area of your life and seeing where there's some holes. And the rounder this becomes, the easier your wheel's going to move down the road and easier for you to operate as an athlete. So you're not trying to kill yourself in a sense. Thank you for that question. Okay, so purpose. Purpose is your why, your how, and your what. A lot of athletes know how to do what they're doing. They know what to do. But the dropout rate in sports happen because athletes don't focus on the target, on the why. So the goal is for them to operate from an inside-out philosophy, not an outside-in philosophy. So it's important for athletes to focus on their strengths. So real quick, write down a couple strengths. And I asked the athlete this the other day, what are some areas of improvement or weaknesses that you have? And they had a hard time answering that. Because we're so conditioned to believe that we have to be perfect. And that's where the anxiety, pressure, and depression comes in. Great. All right, so this is one of my favorite things that I've learned. It's called the 3 P's of mindset. Positive images, power words, and presence of mind. Positive images, we live in Tucson. We can look at the beautiful mountains, use that for positive images. You can use your parents, you can use your coaches as positive images or a positive play. Whatever fits your personality, you can use that. Power words. I'm sure the cheer team here has a mantra they use for the team. What is it? Like a mantra, like a swag or like a saying that you tell everybody. Like, we are the warriors. We got it. We're working on it, right? You guys are working on it.
It's just the new one that we
Okay, I love it. I love it. It's awesome. So power words, the more you repeat these positive affirmations over and over and over again, you condition the mind. So neurons, whenever your neurons fire, that's what gets wired, okay? So whatever you fire with your neurons, that's what gets wired. And then you have presence of mind. That's staying in the now, not focusing on what happened in the past or not focusing on too far in the future. So being present. So what are some ways you guys think works with your athletes to help them stay in the present moment? What are some things you can do to help them? Encourage them, yep. How can you help them reset their central nervous system? Positive feedback. How about just a deep breath? Right? Breathing. Get them to take a couple deep breaths. Have them take a time out. Have them do a little walk. Pull them off the field. Right? Sit them down. Team bonding. Right, exactly. All these things can help them stay present in the moment. So this is a great skill, great thing to use. There's so many different things you could do to help your athletes with being more present, helping them use power words, right? My affirmation, my thing is elevate your game. And then my saying is, I say this all the time, if you want to be the best you could be, get with DC, right? So you guys as coaches could come up with your own sayings. You can help motivate your own players with their own mantra. You can make it an activity they do to help them stay motivated and engaged with the sport. So 3 H's. This is another thing I do. We're going to start talking about vision and focus. So I have hero, highlight, and hardship. So who's a hero in your life that you look up to? What's a highlight that you've had? And using that highlight over and over and over again to help you with your performance. And then what's a hardship? What's something difficult that you've been through? And how's that shaped you? How's it defined you? How's it made you a better person overall? Because we've all had everything like this in our lives. And if you have a hardship, it's not a bad thing. It's a positive thing that you can use to continue to use to elevate your game. All right, so I tell athletes all the time, focus on the process and not the outcome. We all want to win, right? Winning is huge in sports. But it's super important to focus on the process and not the outcome. These are little triangles. So you could draw a triangle on the bottom part, and then this was just a vision board over here. On the bottom part of the triangle, you're going to put goals, purpose, and vision. Goals, purpose, and vision. All right, your purpose, underneath that put habits. Underneath purpose, just put habits. Physical, mindset. Ooh, this is fun. Mindset, you could put nutrition.
Where are we putting this?
Just underneath goals. Strategy. Then tactical.
What did you say for purpose again?
Habits. Okay, so there's many more. This is just an idea, okay? So all these things here, guys, underneath your goals has to do with things that you can control, not on the things that you can't control, okay? So when you focus on each area of these aspects of your game, now allow you to become awesome. So what's an example of a technical goal? Anybody want to share?
Like proper footwork?
Perfect, that's it, simple. All right, focusing on that. What about mindset? What's something they can do for mindset? We just said it in the previous slide. Your guys' mantra. Repeat the mantra, right? Positive affirmation. What about nutrition? What's something they could do nutritionally as a goal? There we go. I love it. No hot Cheetos. Back to goals, okay? Did you guys know that only 3 to 5% of people actually write down their goals on a regular basis? That's crazy, right? How many people write down their goals all the time? I mean, we all write goals, but I'm talking about like on a regular basis. So this is huge. So with goals, I'm sure you guys have heard of SMART goals or smarter goals, right? Have you guys all heard of that? No? All right, so you have specific, this time it's spelled out, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, energetic, and recorded. So it's super important for athletes to have specific goals, to have it measurable, like you talked about earlier, exactly same thing. Achievable, relevant, time-bound, energetic, and recorded. Recorded is the big one. The pen never forgets, right? And from my experience, giving kids a journal and getting them off of technology is phenomenal for them because it gives them the ability to actually work on their spelling, their handwriting, which is a lost art. So super important to have them write it down and then place that somewhere they could see it all the time. So the thing I have athletes do that work with me, I have them get a whiteboard and I have them do a vision board and I have them write down their goals every week of what they want to achieve. So that would be your micro goals. Then I talk to them about short-term goals. Now, for high school athletes, I have them go up to 2 years for their long-term goals. Then I talk about medium goals, like any, monthly goals. So the more you write down your goals, the more you're able to see it and visualize it and achieve it. Okay, visualization. This is my favorite thing to do with athletes. I actually gave, do you guys know Josiah here who just won the state title for wrestling? Okay, I gave him a I gave him a visualization and it helped him get to those titles, overcome mental blocks in his performance, okay? Super, super cool thing to do. Keep it super simple. And as I mentioned before, doing visualization is just as strong as physical practice. So if you have an athlete that's injured or is not able to play or school is more important and they're not able to make it to practice, they could take 5 to 10 minutes of their day and practice on their mindset to keep their mindset strong, keep their mental toughness up there. Okay, so like I said before, whatever is wired gets fired, so visualization helps with neural pathway activation, performance enhancement, skill acquisition and muscle memory, psychological benefits as well, goal setting and effectiveness. Okay, so the more you pull in all your physical senses, like I talked about your mind muscles, the better you're going to be overall as an athlete. So this is how I do it. This is my system, okay? The first thing I do is deep belly breathing. Anybody here do deep belly breathing? Awesome. So it's pretty much the opposite of doing chest breathing. You blow up your stomach. Everybody put your hand on your stomach real quick. And now when you breathe in, you're going to blow your stomach up like a balloon. So you expand your stomach, and then you hold it for 2 seconds, and then blow out for 7 seconds. If you do that a few times, it's going to calm down your nervous system. So I do that, and when I do that, I tell them to breathe in positive thoughts and emotions and let go of negative thoughts, feelings, or things that are holding them back. So that's the first part of the visualization. The second part of the visualization is the 3 power Ps. Do you guys remember them? 3 power Ps? No looking, no looking, no AI, no AI. Do you remember them? Positive images, power, and presence of mind. Perfect. So you use that, and I make it specific for them. Great job. Great job. Then we have the highlight, right? So important for athletes to focus on a highlight. I actually I did a visualization. I did one session with a cheerleader, and I helped her get into college with a visualization. And she overcame a major, major injury. She had a major injury, and she had a mental block. She couldn't get through it. Did a visualization with her. She was able to produce the video that she needed to do to show the coaches. Got her a scholarship in college. Very powerful. Then the last part of the visualization is you choose a shape, color, number, or animal that resonates with you. I worked with the United States powerlifting champion. And I'm like, okay, pick an animal, pick one of these. And he goes, mine's a kitty cat. So no matter what size you are, doesn't matter what you pick, as long as it resonates with you, or a number, could be your favorite number, could be a color. It doesn't have to be multiple of these, it could just be one. And what that does is it allows you to really focus and hone in on the visualization and get your mindset ready to go at peak performance. So this is a skill that a lot of athletes don't take advantage of on a regular basis. I have athletes listen to this in the morning, before practice, or before a game, and then in the evening. You could do it multiple times. You can listen to it 10 times in a row, 20 times in a row. It's about 3 minutes long, so it's really up to you. This is the way I do it. There's plenty of ways to do visualization. There's no right or wrong way, but as long as you're doing it. Some athletes just listen to music that's very soothing, instrumental, that will help them just get in the right mindset. Some athletes listen to their music to help them get in the right mindset. Whatever it is, as long as you're doing it and repeating these positive phrases over and over and over again, it'll give you the right mindset that you need to be at your best. All right, emotional intelligence. This is huge, right? Sports are a very big emotional part of what we do, right? There's a lot of emotions that go into sports, and it's important to be in control of your own emotions, so self-regulation and self-awareness and motivation. And then it's important to be in control of your team's emotions, right? If you're in an individual sport, that's different, like tennis or golf or cross country. It's a little bit different. But if you're in a team, that's huge. So I want to show you guys a clip, if it could play. Here we go.
Okay, huge moment in the Rams-Seahawks game. Let's pause to set the stage right around here. So you see it's a 3rd and 12. The Rams are down 11 points, so need to get something going. Matthew Stafford's going to throw one down the field. There really isn't much open, just kind of trying to take a chance, kind of have to at this point, right? You see, that is Tariq Woolen. He is the guy who made the great pass breakup. Nearly had to pick, but again, who cares? You're about to get the ball back up 11 points with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Except if you commit a penalty here, right? Because it is still technically Rams ball right now. It's 4th and 12. Watch Tariq Woolen. Watch how he is going to, he celebrates with his team, but he's on the Rams side, and watch him continue to walk up. He's going to, I spliced together a couple clips, but you see him, just saying stuff to the Rams sideline for an extended period of time is, I guess, the best way I could describe all of that right there. So you see even Stafford gets into it with Woolen. I'll pause it right here. Again, we don't know what was said. There is an official who appears to be, in earshot of all of that. Woolen spends a long time there, right? I hate the taunting penalties. I think that this is, it's at least overpowered, the fact that it's 15 yards and automatic first down. But, like, it's also kind of impossible to look at this and say that it was anything but, like, this was easily avoidable by Woolen. I mean, this was an excessive amount of time. I think if he just says one thing and then goes over, I don't think it gets called. I think it's the amount of time he's at the sideline that ultimately gets the flag. On the very next play, what does Matthew Stafford do? Well, hey, target the guy who might be feeling down about himself after that penalty. Targets Tariq Woolen, gets the touchdown. Yeah, just crazy sequence all around.
That play there put the Rams right back in the game, and that was the NFC Championship game. Anybody see that play? Remember that? It was crazy. Yeah, so emotional intelligence is huge, and a lot of times, too, is when somebody makes a mistake like that, the team's very good at getting on them and making them feel even worse. So as coaches, it's important to have great communication skills, pick these guys up that make a mistake, because sports are very emotional, and these things happen. So communication is awesome. Like you mentioned earlier with the relationships, if you communicate properly and have awesome communication skills, it makes a huge difference in athletes' lives. So I had a soccer player I was working with, and he was really down and depressed because he couldn't feel like he could talk to his coach, and his coach was very aggressive towards him, and just the way his coach spoke to him made him just shut down. So what I like to teach people is to use the sandwich effect. Anybody got a favorite sandwich in here? I like tuna fish sandwiches. Club sandwich. Nutella sandwich. Wow, that sounds delicious. So with the sandwich effect, what I do is I teach people to have a positive, then the criticism, then have a positive. Does anybody in here want to take a shot at giving me a scenario with an athlete to use a sandwich effect? Yes.
Like for softball yesterday, for example, some girl had a really good hit, so we said,
Yeah.
Good hit, but you should have slid, but you were safe.
Okay.
So
Good. So short and sweet. Yeah. So as long as you end it with a positive and let them know that they're doing a great job, pick them up. Hey, that was awesome. Great hit. It was a phenomenal play. However, when you were running the bases, you should have slid a little bit, not rushed into the, did she get out or something?
she was safe.
She was safe?
But
Oh,
she should have slid in.
yeah. Should have slid in. That would have made sure you're safe. Just keep in mind of that when you're playing. You're an awesome athlete. That was incredible. So something as simple as that will help them with communication, right? And I tell athletes to have the 3 P's again: projection, posture, and preparation. You mentioned it earlier. If somebody strikes out and they walk to the side like that, keep your shoulders back, have good projection, have good posture, be prepared when you're talking to somebody, especially at the next level. You want to be able to talk to these coaches with confidence and let them know, be approachable. Don't be like, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. You want to be approachable and let them know that I'm really looking into your college. Your college will provide me X, Y, and Z. These are the things I'm looking for as an athlete at the next level. These are the things that I'm currently working on and getting better at. So then you're letting them know that you're not a finished product, that you're looking to go to a program that's going to help them get better and excel at what they do, right? And also you could talk to them about the coaching style you like. I don't like when coaches yell at me. I feel motivated when coaches sit me down and talk to me nicely. Whatever it is, you could lay that communication awesome at the beginning. So moving on. Anybody deal with difficult parents? Right? You have the parent that's like the over-invested parent that thinks that they're playing, right? They think like they're part of the action and they're actually on the court. You have the sideline coach, no, don't do that. Why are you calling that play? You're doing it wrong. The emotional parent who's yelling and screaming. They don't even know what's going on in the game, but they just like to yell and scream. So it's important with coaches to show that you care, be clear with the expectations for their athlete, and we'll talk about that in a little bit about the performance journal and how you can use that with athletes. I'll give you an example. with the softball player I'm working with, and consistency. Be consistent with that. So how can coaches manage athlete emotions during games? Number one, pause the emotion, like we talked about. Tell them to take a deep breath, clap hands, use the dirt example, look up, reset posture, repeat a positive affirmation to themselves. Step 2, reset, rephrase. Next play, reset, focus, you got this, right? Affirmation right there. Step 3, refocus on the next action. Hey, you still have an opportunity. Next play, next defensive play, next possession. You can do this. I believe in you. Yeah, seize it. Right, whatever it is, you can use these steps or come up with your own for your athletes so you can help them with their performance overall. All right, leadership. Here we go. Leadership. So I want you guys to create a leadership statement of how your players would describe you. Your strengths, your weaknesses, and what leadership qualities describe you best as a coach. And then when you're done with that, please share it, because we're all here to grow. We're all here to learn from each other. So my favorite are leading by example on here. And these aren't it, guys. Like, you can come up with other leadership qualities. These are just some I listed. Resilience is a big one for me, and emotional intelligence. All right, anybody like to share what their coaching statement is? Still thinking. That's good. It's good to think.
I know what my weakness is.
What's that? That's good.
I felt like it's not what I said, it's how I would say it.
Got
So I had a little girl that was always in a bad mood. I'm always like, hey, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? And then I get a call later that I didn't like her. But I guess the way I said, like, what's wrong, every single time, she took it as, oh my God, she hates me.
Right.
So I learned that I have to just say things differently, like, hey, how was your day today? Instead of, what's the matter with you? You know, every
Right.
single day.
Right.
So I learned to not, I guess, just to say things differently. Not what
That's
I
great.
said to say. Yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody else?
Us here.
Okay, the team. You guys are the social club here.
So as a team, we all have something different and we pull
Okay.
each other together. So I'm more nurturing, she's more accountability, she's more of understanding and getting along, and he puts us all together. Like,
Oh,
he
great.
has it all.
Awesome.
So when we all come together, we
I love
work
that.
together well.
I love that.
And
That's
the girls
huge.
actually do tell that about us.
Right. No, that's huge. And I think, like, being aware of your coaching style is important because it'll allow you to just be better and it'll help the team thrive. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, guys. All right, so grit and determination, right? Grit is more of the long-term persistence, and determination is more of the short-term drive. So to have grit is to continually, like we talked about, focus on your why you're doing this. So if you have an athlete that says to you, hey, I want to do cheerleading in college, or I want to play flag football in college. Like you just mentioned, an athlete got scholarship or 3 offers. That's amazing, right? In the first year, it's the first year of the flag football, right? Or golf, like, you know, I want to make it to the PGA or whatever it is. It's important to focus on that why, to focus on your vision, to focus on your goals, and to repeat it over and over and over and over again, just like you would go to the weight room, just like you would go into practice and you practice your skills over and over and over again. When you train your mindset over and over and over again, it gives you the extra advantage over your competition. And we're all looking for that, right? We're all looking for that extra advantage. So when you have the proper mindset tools and combine that with everything else you guys do, you're going to have amazing grit and determination. Growth. So one of the things I do is I give my athletes, I talked about this, a performance journal, okay? And in that journal, I go over a lesson every time. So the first lesson I go over, which is purpose. So I have them write it down, how you guys just wrote down a statement about why they love to play the sport. Tell me why you love the sport. So that way it helps them to stay focused on the things that matter most. Then after that, what I do is I have them write down after the lesson 2 or 3 goals that they want to achieve. And I teach them the smarter goals, right? When I first start working with them, I don't care what they write. Some kids would just write, I want to have fun. Great, you wrote that down. Remember, only 2 to 3% of people write down their goals on a regular basis. Then what I have them do after practice or after a game, I have them give themselves a score. It could be from 1 to 10. It could be from 1 to 5. And I say, why did you give yourself that score? Why did you get yourself that score? And I tell them to assess, align your goals, embrace the process, and advance. So always, you have the ability to assess, why did I give myself that score? What can I do to get better the next time I go out there? Now you have a plan, kind of like a business plan. So you have a plan in place. So when you're going into your practice for the week, right? Now you have a plan of, oh, great, coach, these are the things that I want to work on. What do you think about these goals? Do you think this aligns with where I want to be on the team? How it will help me advance? Do you think this will help me get better as an athlete? How can I become more and better and have that grit and determination that I want to become the best athlete possible for this team? It's an awesome process. Then on top of that, I just started working with a softball athlete, right? And the mom was very hard on her. You have to do this, you have to do that, right? And I said, one of the best things you can do for your child is allow them to think. Allow them to write down their goals and what matters to them, so that way you can understand what they want and what they want to achieve. And on top of that, remember we talked about communication for parents? On top of that, now the parents are on the same page as their athlete, and they know exactly what it is that they're focusing on in that game. So super important to use goal setting for athletes, for parents, and even as coaches. Setting the tone at the beginning for your team, the start of the season. Hey guys, let's have a check-in, every month if you guys want, every quarter, whatever you feel your team needs. Instead of going out to the field and just getting right after it, take them in the classroom and say, let's go over your performance journal. Let's go over things that are going to help you guys get to the next level. Mindset is everything. When you train it, you have the extra advantage in your sport. All right, so here's 5 coaching mistakes that coaches often make. Number 1, overemphasize on winning. Winning is everything, right? We've heard those quotes. Yes. Number 2, fear-based coaching. Putting fear into them, striking fear. I grew up in that environment, okay? 3, negative communication. Thank you for sharing how you communicated and how that came off. It might not have been negative to you, but so some people might have been negative. Ignoring athlete mental health needs. That's a huge one, right? We all think we're the same. And number 5, lack of fun. You put a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of sweat, a lot of practice, everything into the sport. If it becomes unfun, that's when people quit. So the biggest problem is about 70 to 80% of high school sports never used a sports psychology consultant, okay? On top of that, 70% of children drop out of sports by the age of 13. That's a huge statistics. I know you guys are high school, but some of you go and talk to middle school kids, right? Now you have an opportunity to go to them and say, I want you guys to know, when you come play from our high school, these are the things that we do that is different. These are the things that we do that are going to help you elevate your game and become the best version of yourself. That is an awesome opportunity to save these kids from quitting, right? 6 to 7% of high school athletes continue to play sports at the college level, and then 2% of high school athletes actually receive a scholarship. That's crazy. Only 2%. So the solution is to implement all these skills that I've taught you guys today, add them, make it fun, add the mental training skills that allow them to reduce pressure and build a supportive environment, and definitely focus on mental health and confidence. If you guys would like 5 sessions for $300, if you would like to work with a sports psychology consultant and help out your team. I'd like to thank you guys for being here today. It was an awesome opportunity to come speak with each and every one of you. If you can, would you mind scanning the QR code and leaving me a Google review? I thank you guys for your time. You're welcome to come talk to me if you have any questions, and I am super grateful that you guys allowed me the opportunity here to be with you. Thank you.